If you teach at a university and you use Moodle as your LMS, you know the pain. You have a textbook and you have a course to build on Moodle. And in between these two sits hours of copy pasting the content of the textbook to Moodle, or worse, manually typing. Today I'm going to show you how to skip all of that. We are going to take a PDF of a calculus textbook section, feed it into an AI, run one Python script, and end up with a fully populated Moodle course section, complete with reading material, worked out examples, exercises as a separate activity. The process is robust enough to incorporate pictures and LaTeX maths. This video is for instructors, LMS admins, or anyone who builds structured courses and wants to avoid doing manual work. Here is my Moodle setup. I have a multivariate calculus course in my Moodle instance. I have divided my Moodle course presentation into different chapters, into different sections, and each section is named after the chapter of the textbook that I'm following. I'm following a calculus textbook in which the multivariable calculus portion is covered in chapter 12 to chapter 16. So in my Moodle setup, each section is one chapter of the textbook. In any typical book, each chapter is divided into multiple sections. So that's what we have in this book too. So in my Moodle setup, each section is divided into subsection. For example, chapter 12 is divided into section 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, and these subsection name corresponds to the section name in the textbook. In each section of the Moodle, I have multiple pages, and these pages corresponds to the content in the textbook. The book has the reading material, the book has worked out example, the book has exercise problem. So the way I will show you is that I want to transfer pretty much everything from the textbook, from every section, and divide each section into reading material 1, some worked out example, then reading material 2, then some worked out example, and finally a list of exercises. For example, in section 12.1, you can see that this is one reading material, another reading material, another worked out example, another worked out example, another worked out example, and finally, all the exercises from the textbook have been ported here. As you can see, I have done part of the work for. So I am going to, in this video, I'm going to show you that how you can take a section of your textbook and do some pre-processing with AI chatbot, then use my Python script to import everything in Moodle. In my video, I will be showing you the work along that I will be doing in section 13.3. As you can see, until section 13.2, I have already. Section 13.3 is empty. I will show you that how does the content of the textbook looks like in section 13.3 and how I plan to transfer that material into this book. For this demo example, I am going to take this particular section of the textbook. This section has reading materials, it has some worked out examples, and we have a bunch of exercises. Now, what I would like to do is split the reading material of the section into different chunks, and each chunk will become one page in Moodle. I want each example to become one page in Moodle. So example 1 will be one page in Moodle, example 2 will be another page in Moodle, example 3 will be another page in Moodle. And each of the exercise in the problem becomes one page in the Moodle. A benefit of having one page per reading item. The benefit of having one Moodle page for every small thing that we want the students to read is that once students are done reading it, they can mark it done, and students as well as us faculty will be able to track which activities students are engaged in. The benefit of having one page per activity. The benefit of having one page for every small item of reading material, for a worked out example, for exercise, is that students will be able to mark the activity done whenever they have studied the content. So in this way, students will be able to track how far they are away from the course objective, and faculty will be able to track which student is actively engaged in the courses and which students are not. The process that I am following to transfer material from the textbook to Moodle is this. First I do is extract one section of the book, then I feed that PDF to Claude. Then I ask Claude to format the material in this particular format. And the desired format that I'm asking for is this, is shown in here. I am asking Claude to read my PDF and extract all the text from it, all the math content in it, and convert all the math content into LaTeX format, because LaTeX format is easily processed by Moodle. And I'm saying that split the entire PDF into small chunks and convert each chunk, enclose each chunk in this page tag. So every chunk is enclosed in this page XML tag. Every chunk has to have a title, which is enclosed here. And every chunk needs to have a description, which needs to be described in the XML description tag. And the main body of the chunk is enclosed in this content tag. So you will see this opening content tag, and somewhere down you will see closing content tag, and there is closing page. So everything from line 4 to line 48. This is this will become one page in Moodle. Then Moodle processes that, okay, in my PDF there was an example 1, so there has to be a page for example 1. So Moodle assesses that I am creating page 1, a page for example. So then Claude assesses. So Claude correctly assessed that in the PDF there is an example 1, so there has to be a page for example 1, and this is the page that is then for example 1. And similarly, the Claude has correctly processed this PDF and created this Markdown file. And in this Markdown file, everything is enclosed in this page tag. In this page tag, we have this title tag, we have this description tag, and we have this content tag. The title becomes the page heading, description becomes an internal requirement for Moodle, and content forms the main body of the page. And this structure of the Markdown file is required for the Python file to be able to process it. My Python script will simply process this Markdown file, loop over all the pages tag, and for each page tag, it will identify what is the title, what is the main body, it will identify what is there enclosed in the content tag, what are enclosed in their description tag, and simply generate it into a format which can be imported in Moodle. In the description of the video, I will share the link of the sample PDF and this sample Markdown file, and I will give you the link of the Python code which is able to generate the process. I will share the link of the Python code which processes this Markdown file and generates the file which can be imported in Moodle. I have structured my Markdown file in this way because I'm easily able to preview the content of this Markdown file with a simple click button. With a simple click of few buttons. If I do Ctrl-Shift-V, I am able to see that everything seems to be all right. Once we have the Markdown file in the desired format, generating a file which can be imported in Moodle is fairly straightforward. Exporting the Markdown file to be imported in Moodle is fairly straightforward. All you have to do is run this Python script which takes that particular Markdown file as an input and generates a Moodle restoration file. So for example, let me show you this. So I'm doing this within VS Code, and in this VS Code, I am in a directory. I am in the directory which contains this particular folder, and this folder has that Markdown file. In the root of the project directory, I have this Python file. Of course, this Python file is AI generated. It's not important for you to know the details of this Python file. All it does is it parses that Markdown file, separates all the contents within page opening and closing page tags, and for each opening and closing page tags, it creates a Moodle restoration file. I will use this Python file in this in this terminal. It is this Python script name, and this is saying that the path of your input Markdown file will be given like this, and the output format is something in the .mbz format. So this particular line in the script running is showing that I want the output in the form of mbz. This is a format in which if you ever want to export a course from Moodle, then Moodle has this feature that you can export it, and it gives you that .mbz format backup file, and that .mbz backup file can be restored in a new instance of Moodle, and the entire course content will be restored there. So all the script does is it reads my Markdown file, and it formats the content of the Markdown file in a way that .mbz files are supposed to be structured. And this option is giving you the name of the course. So you can see in the left hand side that I do not have any .mbz in my directory. But once I run this file, once I hit enter in the terminal, a new file, sample section.mbz, will be created. So this is the file. This is kind of a zip file. Now this file has all the information of this Markdown file, and the Markdown file had all the information of that PDF file. So after that, all we have to do is just go to my Moodle, import the content of this section by simply restoring the course from this sample section.mbz file. Now let's open my Moodle once again, and in Moodle I am going to extract content from sample section.mbz. So I'm back to my Moodle installation. Right here I don't see any content. Let me go to the edit mode. We need to go to course reuse. Then we go to restore. From here, I need to upload the file. Select the file and upload its content. Restore. Get past all this initial check. So you can see Moodle has parsed my .mbz file, and it has identified that this page has so and so content. Continue. Then Moodle asks that do you want to create a fresh course or do you want to restore it within this course? So I'm restoring it within this course. Some check that I will leave it as it is, and I do not need to change anything here. Next, perform restore. Some warning that I'm going to ignore. And within few seconds, all the content of my .mbz file have been imported into Moodle, and which will be visible here. So it seems that all the pages that I've imported automatically gets imported to some random location, or to the location that I don't fully understand yet. So what I will do is simply move all the contents that have been imported into the appropriate section. So I will do a bulk select. So I will select all the items that I want to move. So once everything is selected, I will click on move, then pick the appropriate section that I want to move items to. this is the arc length, and within few seconds everything is done. So if I get out of the bulk editing mode, I can now see that in my earlier this section was empty. Now each section is populated with the content of the book. With Moodle and all, everything is with I can see that each page is appropriately populated with the right content, with the right math formatting, and if the pictures are included, then also they will be properly included too. So let's recap. The pipeline is simple. PDF goes in, Claude processes the PDF and creates a structured markdown. The Python script converts that to a Moodle backup, and we import that Moodle backup in few clicks. The whole thing runs in under 10 minutes per section. However, if images are included, then you might have to do some manual processing, and it might take about half an hour per section. The script is fully open and you can adopt it. The configuration block at the top is all you need to touch for a new section or a course entirely. I will link the Python script and the prompt I use for Claude in the description below. I am sure many of the teachers out there will find it useful.